Welcome to Seven Trumpets Prepper Channel, and guys, welcome to another edition of the Hard Truth Show. This is going to be stream number 28, and forgive me if I have to cough here and there. I apparently got home from California, and it is pollen season here in East Tennessee, so man, that hit me like right in the face when I got home. I want to check the comments here real quick before we get started. Shalom, good evening, everybody. Hey, shalom, Dorian. Hey, Dorian, I'm going to look and see real quick if I can. I want to learn how somehow to hand you guys wrenches out, people that I know and trust in here. I really want to figure that out. So I've got to sort that out on YouTube, how to hand them wrenches out. So if you know how on that, please let me know, guys. For you and Akeem and Brother Joel. So, guys, tonight we're going to be talking about the Ministry of Truth, which apparently has been put on pause after about 3 weeks. I've been watching this kind of develop, but have no fear, friends. This will continue to develop into a department of the government. The government never starts nothing, and it stops it. So we're going to carry on with the show because I want to put this in the forefront of your mind. We've got I got some slides tonight. Hey, Brother Shane in the building. Love you, brother. And we're going to go over some news articles. I've got some great stuff for you. But real quickly, let's just get all the usual stuff out of the way. We'll get right into the show. Disclaimer, information, content, guests, and their views do not necessarily reflect the views of this channel or its views. Fair use, contents being shared for information, education, and edification purposes intents. If y'all want to reach out to me about people coming on the show, I've got to catch up a bunch of people where I've been busy for a couple of weeks. By all means, hit me up at seventrumpetsprepper@gmail.com. My email box is packed full, guys, but I am trying to whittle that back down. I'm like 4 or 5 weeks behind again. Guys, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell, which people's telling me they hit the notification bell. They still don't get notifications, I guess. So I don't know. I'm guessing on the shadow ban list along with many other truthers. Guys, if you want to donate on the channel, I found out that YouTube is taking like 30% of super chats. So please, by all means, if you're going to donate, go down below and donate via PayPal. You can leave a note in there. I literally can see the message in the note right here live time with my cell phone. I keep it right there. So I will definitely share your comment or whatever you want to super chat. Just do it via PayPal instead. Okay. Be greatly appreciated. So real quickly, speaking event coming up. We're about to be in the month of June. Want to shout this out. Battle Cry. Links in the video description below. United Yawns putting it on. 25th, 26th of June. I'll have hopefully the exact time I'll be speaking here very soon. Sorted out on that, but I will be speaking about the last days and the Seven Trumpets Revelation, what's coming up. Also, the next stream, which will be on the 22nd, this coming Sabbath. I know I've done this one backed up, but it's because I've been out of town. I will be announcing for certain the day of the Georgia Guidestone prayer meetup for the destruction of the New World Order, because I'll already be down in Georgia. So I was just trying to iron that day down. And I know it is drug. And July is coming up here in 2 months, but I'm going to have that information there. And then also my wife's custom t-shirt shop for scriptural tees. I will have that information for those that have been interested, curious. That will be this stream coming up on the 22nd. So 2 last things and we'll get started. Guys, if you want to know when we stream, it's on new moon days and on Sabbaths, and that's using the scriptural unisolar scriptural biblical calendar, which you can download for free at worldslastchance.com or on the App Store for Android or Apple device. So just so you know on that. And guys, if you have not got personal protective equipment for nuclear, biological, chemical, radiological, things like that, I really encourage you to check out Mirror Safety. I've done some gear review on that lately. I'm going to try to do some more in the future. I got a bunch of gear review stuff to do still yet, but they've got a lot of different gear, even all the way down to protective equipment for infants. Just like my household, I have a 4-month-old. It's good stuff to have with the crazy world we're living in. And of course, with one person in particular apparently threatening the nuclear football now because they're losing the war. Faraday Defense. Guys, if you want EMP protection, links for both of these companies in the video description below. Faraday Defense has got a bunch of different EMP equipment. I'm actually doing a review on their equipment this week, so make sure to check that out. I've been behind on that. Got a bunch of smaller versions of it to protect everything from small devices on up to the heavy-duty stuff. Excuse me. So Last thing, and we're going to get right into it, and kept it under about the 7-minute mark, so we're getting really good about this. If you didn't see last week's stream on Sabbath, me, Brother Joel, Brother Akeen was in the building tearing it up about how close are we to the New World Order. I thought it was a great stream. We love them brothers like family. I really enjoyed that. Tonight's stream, we're going to be talking about Orwell's 1984, The Ministry of Truth, a living reality in America now. So for those that are watching after the live stream and watching the playback, I really hope you guys enjoy this, because I am really going to go in on it tonight. And then this stream coming up for Sabbath is the dumpster fire that is modern relationships. Guys, I am going to tell you, if I am not done with that video and people are not offended, I have failed at getting the truth out there coming this Sabbath that night on that. And it's probably going to be a 2-hour stream. Somebody said likes. Yes, absolutely. Everybody, shout out to everybody. Shalom. Love everyone. All right, so let's get into this. I'm going to screen share. I think this is the best thing to do first off. And I want to share the entire screen. Let's do that. And we should be up there. Yep. All right. So what I want to share, and I'm hoping everybody can see this, I'm actually going to flip back over for just a second. And yeah, okay, so it was viewable. All right. So this news article says YouTube cracks down on flat earth videos and other conspiracies. And you can't see it, but it's actually, hopefully my cursor is visible. You can see it right here. It was in 2019. Because I couldn't remember exactly back when it was, because it was in a YouTube terms of service. And the reason I brought this up, just to kind of set the tone for this, is that you see these media outlets and stuff starting to like self conduct these crackdowns. And I remember actually, I think there was some verbiage in there that kind of like, if you talked about who the true Hebrew Israelites was, like it kind of leaned toward that. It's like, don't speak on that either. There was some interesting truth stuff in there. It's like, just shut your mouth. But like flat earth was definitely in the YouTube article. And this is on the Wrap. You can check it out. They called it borderline content, and etc. And the algorithm, it literally says the algorithm was being adjusted right there to reduce the number of conspiracy videos suggested to users. Dude, if I ain't labeled conspiracy videos at this point, I don't know what is. But what we have now moving forward, okay, we'll go to this next one, is, and can somebody just real quickly, before I go any further, can somebody just put a yes in there that you are seeing these articles as I'm doing the screen share? I'm going to hang tight for just a second. If somebody could just kindly let me know yes or no, these articles are showing on here tonight, because I don't have 2 screens watching this simultaneously. I just want to make sure that that's going over. Okay, thank you so much, JD Israel. Yeah, oh, I know, man. You can talk about all this garbage, but you can't talk about flat earth. Oh gosh, everybody hit yes in the stream all at once. Thank you so much, guys. Love y'all. Okay, so let's go into this one, right? There's always so much ad garbage. I can't even find the scroll bar. Here, let me just do that. Where is the X for this thing? Okay, we've seen it. Thank you, Washington Post. All right. How the Biden administration let right-wing attacks derail its disinformation effort. Now, I think it's so interesting that now I don't play politics. I don't really care. But I just think it's so interesting now that the Republicans and the right wing has been blamed for this now, is that this woman is just toxic. I can't remember who it is I need to give credit to. If it was Brother Joel showed me it the other day on TikTok, this woman, and she is just lewd. I cannot stand her, and I'm not I don't hate on women. Of course, after I do the next stream, some men and women will think that I hate both, but just because I'm talking about relationships and toxicity. But I'm just going to scroll through this a little bit. But this Jed Cowicks or whatever, I actually watched her. She's a lewd mouth person. I don't like her content. I don't like her attitude. She's a bleeding heart, a social justice warrior. And the thing about it is, though, and whether I like somebody, dislike somebody, or whatever, this disinformation governance board was supposed to be the stated goal was to coordinate countering misinformation related to Homeland Security. But now that is not what you get That is not what you get when actually. I'm going to save these two other articles from Fox News and come back to it. I'm going to pop back on the screen for a second, quick screen sharing. That is not what you get with this. Okay, let me explain something to you. If you actually go and hear what she had to say from the horse's mouth, and guys, I've actually figured out how to play video and stuff on here. So starting following stream, I'll actually be playing video. I'm just got that kind of sorted out in the mix coming back from California. So please bear with me. But if you actually go and search her on TikTok, right? And you hear the things she said and things she had to say about what's going on. Matter of fact, I think it was Elon Musk that she wanted Twitter for people to be able to edit people's tweets. Okay. They were, I don't know where this whole protect from like outside attacks and things like that. That was like that narrative. And then there was like the person going to be the front person running the show. And her narrative did not match what the news said. Not to mention, she checked out after 3 weeks of this because people laid the smackdown on her. And not only that, but the narratives don't match at all. Okay, just period. All right. So I'll come back to some more articles in a minute. I'll actually read through 2 articles, but I want to just start here on the stream tonight with saying this, is that we're living in a time where I feel like Romans 13 is being abused from the pulpit to political office and the family element, because certain people don't believe a certain political ideology or etc. And I just want to cover this real quickly, okay? Because like from a Sigma male, fully autonomous kind of mentality that I have and like a lone wolf, I don't roll with this kind of mentality being pushed upon me. And understand that Paul's words, I take them very carefully, okay? Because I can get to salvation through Messiah's words and keeping the commandments and doing the Torah, okay? I always use Paul's writings as educational content to build up on that, but I do not build doctrine off of his stuff, okay? So I just want to be very clear where we're at when it comes to Luke and Paul. But with that said, let's read this. Romans 13:1, let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of Elohim. The powers that are, the powers that be are ordained of Elohim. Whosoever therefore resisteth the power resisteth the ordinance of Elohim, and they that resisteth shall receive to themselves damnation. For rulers are not a terror to good works, but to the evil. Wilt thou then not be afraid of the power? Do that which is good, and thou shalt have praise of the same. Moving forward. Wherefore ye must needs be subject, not only for wrath, but also for conscience sake. For this cause pay ye tribute also, for they are Elohim's ministers, attending continually upon this very thing. Render therefore to all their dues, tribute to whom tribute, custom to whom custom, fear to whom fear, honor to whom honor. Now I want to explain something to you. There's a fine line between that and having to stand up in front of that golden idol and say, I will not bow. In the past couple years, I've been told to bow to the idol of COVID-19 and take a poke and a stab and test and a face diaper and all this bullcrap. I'm not, that don't apply for Luke. I'm not interested in complying to that today, not tomorrow, not ever. And I'm also not interested in complying to my freedom of my voice and my speech being muzzled like a dog, and not being able to speak. So like when it comes to this point, I have a rule. And the rule is very simple, is if it violates Torah, I disobey it. If it doesn't violate Torah and it doesn't violate, the directive of hurting other people, then I don't have a problem with following along. But see, things that have been trying to be pushed and are currently being pushed violate Torah. Therefore, it violates Luke's directive to follow it. Are we all on the same page? So let's just back up. If it violates the Torah, should we follow it? The answer is no. Okay. I don't care if it's on the books. I don't care if the president of the United States says it. I don't care if the mayor in the town says it. I don't care if my pastor says it. If thus saith Yahweh did not say it, then it's not available for me to follow. Okay. Period. So moving on. I just wanted to clear the air of that because like, I think we've got people that's pushing that narrative a lot. I don't like it. And I don't even need to go into like Rex 84 back in the day and like the FEMA thing being, pushing that agenda and the pastors being trained to push that agenda and all that stuff. We don't even need to backpedal to that. But the next thing is warning signs of a cult. Our government is creating a cult mentality amongst so many people, and I do not understand. I mean, like Brother Joel played me this thing, and it was explaining psychological traumas, and it was showing that how that you get a group of people to follow along with something is you feed them conflicting information, and then you give them an authority figure source for them to look to, and in their confusion, they will run to that authority source, even though it's wrong. And I think the Nazis propagated that situation very well. But I just want to go over this real quick. You know, it says warning signs of a cult. Followers feel they are never good enough. Okay. No tolerance for criticism or questions. The leader is considered right at all times. Former members are often report being abused. No meaningful financial disclosure regarding budget. Imagine our government with that one. Unreasonable fears about the outside world that often involve evil conspiracies, persecutions, yet actually they're the truths, and they're feeding people the fears. Absolute authoritarianism without accountability. There are records, books, articles, or TV programs that document the abuse of the leaders group, all sorts of stuff about our government, and etc. The leaders are the exclusive means of the knowing the truth, and that's exactly what you would have with a governance board. Former followers are wrong for leaving. There is never a legitimate reason to leave. Now, I would also say this about some camps and certain people in the truth movement too. Like, this is definitely applicable to them. Just saying. But what we're seeing play out currently is right out of the pages of 1984. And matter of fact, guys, I want to show you. If you don't have the copy, sorry, I moved all my books around recently because I've got so many books. That's really driving me nuts. My copy of 1984 is not readily available. Like, I try to keep that readily available, just like scripture. Dang, hashtag annoyed. Anyway, it's here somewhere. But 1984, if you don't have a copy of it, you should definitely own it. You need to buy it now before it really becomes something that's not welcome, because that book is not welcome. I mean, that thing, people are not about that book. And while it's still in print and you can still own it, you should go to eBay tonight and buy one. All right. But what we're seeing is war is peace, freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength. Like this stuff that's right out of 1984, it's coming to life. The ministry of truth. Like I would never have thought, like, and I continue to backpedal back to it, is that I never thought I would live in a time where that I was worried about a literal real zombie apocalypse, and that EMP and nuclear holocaust and, cyber terrorism and the stuff out of 1984, like all these things, I just never thought I would have to deal with it. And now I'm like adding all of them back to my checklist. Well, one thing about it is if you watch the movie, and please keep in mind, I'm going to go ahead and warn you, if you watch the movie, it is like kind of soft porn. I'm not going to lie to you. Like watching the 1984 movie, the newer version, like it literally is soft porn, folks. a chunk of it, but it is what it is. But the message that's in it, the information that's in it, I am telling you, like, what that narrative that plays out in that book and movie, it is playing out in very big chunks in our society right now, and slipping in. And another thing too is, and now this is a little caveat of something I'm going to speak about in the coming up video about modern relationships being a dumpster fire, is that they absolutely are also trying to deconstruct the family nuclear element. I do not want the family, because the family is strong together. A husband and wife thinking critically together, raising sound mind, critical thinking children is not on the agenda. Okay, that is not acceptable to the New World Order. They're not about that. And, that was another thing, is that the New World Order didn't want people to have families. And the destruction of the family right now, it's a real thing. I mean, literally, this disinformation at board. I think one thing that it's also been created for is the so-called MGTOW movement and red pill community movement. I think that it's also to deconstruct that, like as a side mission, because a lot of men are waking up and seeing how bad the court system is and seeing how bad that people's being mistreated. And I don't want to go into my video I'm doing here in a few days and like just hound on that, but I just want to take a little chunk of it out real quick because it applies to this. Is I think that the information that's being shared and showing how the system is being built to destroy families, destroy men, and destroy marriage, and to just not make our community strong. I think that is a subset of this too, because it just seems like that is the new thing on YouTube, that is not welcome to speak on anymore. Is what's really going on. Of course, there's a lawyer that was talking recently, and she said, "Do not marry." Or she said the most divorces span now from, like, I think it was school teachers, nurses, and stay-at-home moms. And she was just breaking down how that, like, things that should be the most protected or even now the most destructive thing, and like that, she felt awkward to even speak on it. It was like it was taboo to speak on. And that's what I'm saying. I don't think they want this stuff to come out. And just throwing a little artwork here along the way, guys, as I'm talking about some of this. But the scripture says in Ephesians 6:12, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and against powers and against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of Elohim, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand." Now, I'm going to tell you, right now, every day, our mind is being inundated with information. It is being inundated with beliefs and ideologies. And just like I'm sharing my beliefs and my ideologies right here and right now with you and telling you to think for yourself, that is exactly what the government is wanting to do. And that is exactly what this governance board is about. I don't know what this counter stuff to protect against terrorism and all these foreign threats and stuff like that. That wasn't the lip service that came out of that woman's mouth. Okay. And she was the talking piece. Okay. So there was one thing on paper. There was another thing in reality. Okay. And that's what I just want to deliver to you here. And these people are wicked in high places. All right. Now, this woman is toxic. She needs to dye her hair purple, and she'll fit right in with the social justice warrior community verbatim. I mean, just toxic as it gets. I tell you what. And I'm not trying to be hate on women or anything like this. Literally, if you see some of her toxic TikTok and the toxic video stuff that she's in, and then not only that, statements and stuff she's made, the woman, absolutely. I'm older than her. Okay. I got gray in my beard. I'm a pretty wise man. All right. I'm not one to toot my own horn, but I'm going to toot it right now. I produce media. I have a decade of knowledge in producing media content. Okay. I am a libertarian, so I don't lean left or right. So if she is really quitting, and you know what, guys, Jens can go ahead and give me a good government job. Okay. I'll keep an eye on things. If Jens really want to keep counterterrorism, stuff like that, dude, I'll keep Russia out of the backyard and everything like that. And all the cyber terror stuff, I'll protect you on that, okay? But I'm going to leave everybody alone on YouTube and Rumble and BitChute and Odyssey and Twitter, and we all going to have our talks and make our videos, and we're all going to just mind our own business. And if we see something we don't want to watch, we'll just choose not to watch it, okay? Like freedom of speech entails for us to do, okay? So if y'all want to cut her loose and hire me in, Luke's available for hiring, okay? Now, anyway, like I said, one of the main tenets of this thing is that people are waking up and understanding that they want this so badly, that the nuclear family. And there is so much out there to destroy it, but people's actually getting a mentality to what to do to fix it and actually have a meaningful relationship, because they help cull toxic people. Now, not only that, you just imagine this very quickly. Like right here, flat earth, that wouldn't be done. Flush down the toilet. No more discussions about that. Guys, I see your comments. Shalom to everybody coming in the building a little later. Love everybody. I'm just running down the list right here real quick of things that's not going to be allowed to be talked about. Okay, so I want you to think about this as I go into these articles, these two other articles in a minute. And I'm going to pause on some of this. Right here, remember, I shared you that. The stuff that YouTube was cracking down on softly, the government board would just step in, and at that point, YouTube and everybody else would gladly hand the reins over, because then they don't have to get their hands dirty, and they'll gladly let you be gone. They don't need to shadow ban or keep us in the backyard anymore. They can just cut you loose for good. Then you got this situation. We've got people waking up to who the true Hebrew Israelites are, and in the same time, figuring out legacy of that, they're also looking back and saying, oh, shoot, Bible prophecy talks of this. And so they're starting to figure that out, and they do not want this content out there either. Okay. Another thing they don't want people talking about is the Father's true scriptural lunisolar scriptural biblical calendar, okay? Because this new world order that's coming about, I think it was the Pope the other day, and I've got to find the article. I was apparently informed that now SAT Day or SUN Day is totally fine by the Pope as long as you go to church on one of them. Apparently, that's the word on the street. But how dare you keep the Father's lunisolar scriptural calendar from one new moon to another and one Sabbath to another? We can't do that because that would put all the days in their proper place, just like Ezekiel 46:1. How dare we do that? And so that'll definitely be quieting down right there too. And another thing is this fumbling idiot. Biden's new world order, they're going to push that right through. Okay. Anybody that's anti-new world order, oh, that's gonna get kiboshed quick. Now, just keep in mind, and I'm gonna pause here on this one. Keep this in mind for a second, okay, guys? Just store that meme in your mind for a second, all right? And then we're gonna go over these articles for a moment. I'm going to screen share, and we're gonna pop over. Now, this first article was published April 28th. All right. And this was right before I left out of town to go do construction. This new article by Fox News was published May 18th. Okay. So let's just bear with it a second and let's look at the two titles. First one was White House defends DHS information board. Not sure who opposes that effort. Also, I would like to point out that when I saved my hyperlink for this one and went to use it today for the stream for tonight, it wouldn't work. So I actually had to go and find this thing on the web and pull it back up because it was not readily available again. And then this one was readily available, which says White House says DHS disinformation board never met, denies involvement in the pause. So here we go. Let's go through this article, shall we? And break this down. All right. So they announced this disinformation board. All right. And right here, said, I really haven't dug into this exactly. I mean, we of course support this effort, but let me see if I can get more specifics when they were asked about what was going on, right? Well, the White House announced its support for effort from the Department of Homeland Security to crack down on what it considers to be online disinformation. Now, what's important is we need to get a clear, concise definition of what that means. And it said that it had been created to combat online disinformation. All right, but that still doesn't give like a clear answer, right? When I write down here, like here's one note right here. There's been some criticism of the person who has been chosen to oversee this. She had previously called the Hunter Biden laptop a Trump campaign product. How can you assuage concerns, wondering if she's going to be able to accurately judge misinformation? Because, of course, his laptop turned up. And I could just go in on this woman, dude. There's just so much. But the right here, here's another one. A thing. It says the objective of the board is to prevent disinformation and misinformation from traveling around the country in a range of communities. But it still doesn't give a clear, concise answer as to what it's about. And we keep going on down through here. It's about the laptop again. I'm trying to remember where it was. I think it is actually in the other article. They break it down that it's to stop the outside sources of other governments. And I want to actually read that point, because the point is if you watch the TikToks of this woman speak, literally right here said the board face. Oh, that's not it either. So sorry, guys. We'll work through this here. The board has never convened, says it will not convene while those two people are on their assignment, but the department's work across several administrations to address disinformation that threatens the security of our country is critical, and that will indeed continue. All right, so see, it's all about security to the country, but that was right here says, but now right here's the caveat right here. Instead, John Perry and Jankowicz's position on the board was to provide information on how to combat disinformation, and reiterate the board's mission was never about censorship, policing speech, or removing content from anywhere. But that's so funny, because apparently people are supposed to be able to edit their tweets, other people's tweets on Twitter. Now, I would say that's definitely out of the line there. All right. It says here, its function, yeah, this is the article it was in right here, guys. Its function was to keep Homeland Security officials aware of how bad actors, including human smugglers, transnational criminal organizations, and foreign adversaries could use disinformation to advance their goals. And if you want to read the rest of the article, by all means, it's Fox News, and here's the lady talking, and I've watched a couple of her videos and stuff. I'm not impressed with her at all. Sorry, give me just a second. I'm going to click off that. And my point in case is that right there, you can see in the article that it was about dealing with foreign adversaries and things like that. But yet that is not what was portrayed from the woman's mouth, nor her actions. And also in that, I think it goes on to say down in the bottom of that particular article, let me check real quick right here. I think it was at the bottom of the article that she has walked away from the position. That's the one that said that she's walked away. Sorry, one moment. I just want to verify that. Yeah, decided to leave the DHS. She's ultimately probably going to leave her position. So good riddance to her. And the thing is, though, this is not going to stop. You have to understand that what has been set in motion is going to, an object set in motion continues in motion, right? It's going to continue to go down this path straight to hell. And they'll replace her, and they'll very carefully reinstitute this thing very carefully going forward. Yeah, that's right, bro. They shut her down. And let me tell you why they shut her down. It's because she was a bleeding idiot. And they should have got somebody very, very on point to do that job. And they put a talking piece at the front that was just terrible. They're going to have to pick a better front person for the next time through that's going to be able to control their muzzle a little better. But with that said, it says here, the people who hit Anne Frank were breaking the law. The people who killed her were following it. All right. Always goes back to just doing my job. Just doing my job. Good people disobey bad laws. That is one of the narratives I hope that people understand from the stream tonight. And another thing is, it's like, now this guy's at the point I'm sharing this with you currently in the timeline of humanity. I think this news feed is 7 business days old. And this was on Capitol Hill. Apparently Congress is to hold their first open hearing on UFOs in half a century. So let's all pay attention here. The COVID-19, I think I gave enough space for the algorithm not catch that. We had that moment. Now we have the sideshow circus in Ukraine. And now we're back on track with the alien invasion coming up. That'll be the next thing. And how dare you talk about that? Our governance board will shut your mouth whenever you talk about that later on when we start this up. So I just want to share that one out there, throw that caveat out. And then, this woke culture, they are going to, like, now that woman was fully sold SJW in the woke culture. All right. Now, if you are one of these people that love the woke culture, that woman would have been perfect for you because she was going to push that agenda right through. But now what they need moving forward, if that was the narrative they were going, and I'm pretty certain that was the narrative they were headed for, they need to get somebody a lot more curtailed for that job to push that narrative. Now let's see. Sorry, guys, I am paying attention to the comments here. And next up, right here, I thought about if you've ever read the book or you've watched the movie The Man in the High Castle. It reminds me of when the one gentleman that defected from the U.S. military and became a Nazi, Übungsgruppenführer, his position, he was invited to stand in front of the Nazi party over there in Germany. And, we were doing the whole Sig Heil and celebration, and he was honored for his service to the Reich. This reminds me of that, and it's literally... it's so true because that's what they need. They need literally blind followers. And at this point in conjuncture, people that are good woke, true woke, are not welcome in this arena. All right. And they've got to find a way to thin this down. And hey, the scripture has warned us. It has warned us this day is coming. And I'm telling you, this better be top priority in everybody's mind right now is Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear Elohim and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of a man. And I want to clear the screens off here and just pop back to me. Guys, I know the stream, I'm not going to run long tonight because there's like a 2-hour stream coming up on Sabbath. It's going to be a long stream. I have like note after note after note, video after video to play on the screen. It's a lot of content. Matter of fact, I'm going to need probably an hour or two late Sabbath afternoon to even get it all put on here. But I don't know where exactly America is headed. I have tried. I mean, like, I know where it's headed, straight to hell. But what I am trying to figure out is, are we going down the path of fascism? Are we going socialist? Are we going communist? Are we going in a whole new venue? I just cannot figure out if, like, when they have these come together meetings, like the come together worship site meetings, is it like, are they still torn into little groups? Like they don't know which way they kind of want to sift this thing out yet? Because I'm just trying to figure out what dynamic we're in so that I can live in a parallel society outside that means. And that's right. Socialism leads to communism. And that's why I feel like we actually, in this country right now, and especially with the people that are in the establishment and the authority and power right now, I feel like that we are definitely headed towards something out of Nazi Germany. I really feel that, like, that's the vibe I get right now. I feel like I am living in Nazi Germany 2.0. And I'm just curious. I really am just curious. Am I the only one that feels like that? Like, I mean, like, in the comments section, right? Just tell me right now, your thoughts. Is that how you all feel? Okay. Because sorry guys, I'm going to cancel this one thing off. There's some AirPods trying to connect and I can't figure out what's going on with that. There we go. Hopefully everybody can hear me a little bit better on that. I don't know why all of a sudden my AirPods want to connect, but am I the only one that's seeing this? Like, seriously, please give me some feedback on this. Am I the only person that sees that we're heading in the path of Hitler's Third Reich? Or do you see us like heading down the path of communist China or, communist Russia before Berlin Wall fell? I mean, somebody said, okay, here's some feedback. Somebody right there, it's Nazi Germany for sure. I'm just saying, because I swear to you, I never thought in all countries of the world, might I add, that I never thought that I would wake up one day in America. Let me show you. Here's my grandfather. I've shared it before, right? There's my grandfather that fought in World War II against Nazis. All right. Started out in heavy weapons division, then became a doctor, right? And helped heal people and save lives. It's like, I never thought that I would be so proud to be an American and then wake up to the truth and be like, well, my only loyalty is to the kingdom of the Most High Yah at the end of the day. I just kind of live in America. And then come to the point where you actually have disdain for the place that you live in because it is becoming a monster greater than the monsters you've seen before. And when you look at the scripture too, you see the second beast of Revelation. I fully am sold that that's America. It has 2 horns and like a lamb that speaks like a dragon. I mean, that's church and state. That could be 2 political powers that rule it. I look at it a couple different possibilities nowadays. But hold on just a second, guys. I'm so sorry. I asked a question, y'all answered it, and then I got off on a tangent there. And the Wi-Fi was lagging too. Let's see. Let's see what everybody said on that. Yes, and we don't have time to stop it. We really don't. Like, we're on a moving train. So these are absolutely strange times. A friend of mine and I were reflecting, thinking that it's just weird, but we see and understand everything going on. Yeah, absolutely. I see what you were saying, Brother Luke. Yeah. All right. Let's keep going. Brother Shane, you are not alone, brother. Yeah. Here's what Robin had to say. You're not the only one feeling it. I'm serious. Like, if I'm wrong, please disagree with me. Guys, this is a place of free speech. As long as people ain't cursing here, I ain't going to put you on timeout or blaspheming. But, I mean, like, they're trying to pass this pandemic treaty. Yeah, I got to look more into that. That's that's more that Klaus Schwab garbage nonsense. I see it. No one else sees it though. Yeah, well, that's true. A lot of people around me, I think some don't see it, and I think some don't want to see it. Where I'm at, it feels like it. There you go. I like that, Justin O. I like that flat Earth logo you got on your YouTube thing. Our country's going down the toilet. Yeah. Let me see what JD Israel said. I suspect they are creating a database based on what our social media views have been over the years. The same way they easily found the Jan 6 storming of the Capitol building. Oh, dude, if they watch my stream, I'm like so going to be at the reindoctrination camp, like the first bus going out. The people who never questioned everything in 2020 were slowly groomed, and this is all insane. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, now here we have Tess says she thinks it's turning pure communist. That's okay. Listen, we can all agree to disagree in here. I just want to see. Most people apparently think it's going down the path of Nazi Germany, and that's kind of what I think. Honestly think, and this is my 110%, like if I had to write it down on an essay right now, this is where I'm at with it. I feel like we are in Orwell's 1984. We are currently somewhere between the eugenics and the Ministry of Truth, and we are in about midstream right before the war in Nazi Germany time frame, right? That mentality. So mold that together. And then as far as dystopian world, that we are in a dystopian environment. You have to understand, like I go to the store right now, there's not even baby formula on the shelf. Like we are definitely moving slowly into a dystopian environment, like the slow cooking of the frog. I still stand behind the movie In Time, INTIME, and like Blade Runner. We're somewhere down that middle road of that right now. And, I don't know exactly when we're going to arrive at the terminal, but my thought process, and like I've shared recently about AI, and guys, I'm gonna jump back in the comments just a second, and I'm gonna wrap this up about 5-10 minutes, just short stream tonight, is that I think that 2025 is key for the new world order to be fully implemented, because you have to understand, I cannot monitor every one of you, just like you can't monitor me. But algorithms, AI, and self-learning, biotechnology, and all this crazy stuff, and RFID chips, and all the things, that stuff can definitely help keep up with everybody for the beast kingdom. So when that gets clicked in place, now I definitely think we're very close to game over for most of us. House of Marty said they want us gone, so Nazi Germany. Yeah. Deb Wood said they don't. She was saying that to test C374. They don't have eyes to see. Absolutely. Baby food for the rich. Yep, that's right. They ain't sure got it for the poor right now. The people we were hoping to wake up have been cleverly recruited against us. Nazism ushered in by communism. Drew Jen, that might be the comment of the night right there. That's a well-pointed expose right there. Yeah, well, the thing is, you got to understand, is the spirit of things is always alive, right? Like I don't know really how to put a finger on a pulse of what I'm trying to say, but oh yeah, I do have one. Okay, in ancient Israel, when people would sacrifice their children to Moloch, which I won't say these pagan deities' names, child sacrifice. Well, you fast forward later in life, and we have Planned Parenthood. Still same principle applies, still same thing going on, just different labels, and you don't have a false deity sitting up there. But nevertheless, it's still the same spirit at work. Y'all follow? So even though you don't have like a swastika and the Sig Heil and, throwing up the Sig Heil and everything else, the spirit is still alive and well in many of these people. It's like Antifa. Antifa, to me, if they handed them out like SS hats and the black long jackets, I swear I would think that it was an SS regiment. Very poorly organized SS regiment, but nevertheless, when you see these Antifas, but that spirit is still alive and well within them. And so I think that's something that moving forward, especially as I watch this ministry of truth thing come to life. Because listen, I've told you people about the Rona 19 was literally in the news tonight. I quote, hold on, get a drink here. It was in the news that the cases were on the rise again. I'm going to say that again. Best I remember from reading the news earlier, it was cases are on the rise again. They're never going to let it go. And I said the war in Ukraine was a sideshow. It's going to pick back right up. And the same spirit with that is going to be kindled right back up again. I don't care if this bleeding heart SJW that they got out of the way because everybody, listen, when you make other social justice warriors mad and they get you fired and run you off, you've toned it up too much. Okay. You need to moderate down, honey. So the next person that takes and fills her shoes, I hope they can figure out how to be a little more fluid with their job. All right. Because she went over the top. But that same spirit will live on. Anytime the government creates something, they will keep that alive and kicking. All right. So this thing's just been put in park for a moment. But there will be a time when this will be used. It might be this demonic alien invasion thing now that's being talked about up on Capitol Hill. I don't know. But something is going to click eventually. And somebody said right here, said definitely spiritual warfare demons that influence. Absolutely. Bluegrass Homestead. True. Whether it's Nero, Hitler, or Bill Gates, same underlying spirit. Absolutely. Different time, different place, different person, same spirit. Elections coming up. Yeah, that's a great point, Robin. You know what? I may have to give the comment of the night to Robin, is because that is true. Elections are coming up, and it is they probably had to tone that down a little bit too. They've accelerated the 2030 agenda. They're in a big hurry now, so mistakes will be made by them, but that's good for some of us. Absolutely. I think they are so in such importance of getting stuff done right now that they are making mistakes. Let's see. Do you think that spirit of the SS is being pushed by what happened in Buffalo? I got to be honest with you guys. I have not looked into what happened in Buffalo. I think that was the shooting of 7 people or whatever. I have not really looked into that. And I hate to ever commentate on something that I have not took time and look at. So I don't know on that. Let's see. They always play us like pawns in their political games. Absolutely. Absolutely. And here's where I'm at with it. One of the greatest baruchas from the Most High Yah unto my life was to figure out finally, who is Luke? What makes me tick? Why do I believe and do the things I do? And I started, now this is not describe everybody, but for me, it finally helped me figure out who I am, is this thing called a Sigma male. And when I figured that out, and I was listening to all the things that makes up a Sigma male and how they think and how they treat other people and how they interact, I was like, dang, I was like, that's my spirit. Like, that's that, whatever like Caleb and Jehoshua, when they went into the promised land and seen what was up, they were like, all right, let's go take this place, right? Well, the scripture literally speaks of that they had a different spirit than the others, right? I want to be like Caleb and Jehoshua. And my spirit in me is like always been a lone wolf. I don't mind getting along with people. I love everybody. I want to see people getting a win in their life, but like I'm withdrawn from society. I stay off to myself. I mind my own business. Like like when you see me on here, it's funny because people meet me outside of YouTube and they see that I'm a very quiet and reserved person. I mean, if you've seen the video I just posted, I was working in the middle of nowhere and done a project with a friend, with Brother Joel, and then left there and disappeared out of society again. Like that's how I work. I go make my paycheck and I go back to my farm and I mind my own business. And I think it's been one of the greatest blessings is seeing what kind of person I am, like finally understanding that mentally. It's like, this is why you tick this way. Because I think right now, I said all that to say this is we need to be figuring out what makes us tick, who we are, what triggers us, and how we can best regulate our lives and control our own minds, because everything out there, from the media to corporations to the government and to Satan, wants to control your mind. Because he has this, then he has your heart, and he has you. It's that simple. I want to be, and so somebody said demonic aliens are here. Take a look at Bezos. Dude, I'll tell you, the one that gets me is what's the guy that is over Facebook? I can't think of his name right now. If somebody can drop him in the comments, I would really appreciate it. It's slipping my mind right now, but that dude was in a picture with a bunch of people, and I swear they all look like androids. It was creepy. It was absolutely creepy. And yeah, right here, that's something we definitely need to be getting ready for, is this interdimensional, not extraterrestrial. They've been here. Mark Zuckerberg, thank you guys. We've never been alone since the garden. That's right. It's just like Indiana Jones, the 4th movie that he was in, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. It was interdimensional beings. That was like the stuff's always out there in front of us in the movies. Yeah, I love that right there. The desert generation from Egypt is fixing to be removed from blocking the Yahusha Caleb generation. I'll be so glad I'm out of the way, because I want to serve y'all. Like, my mission right now in my legacy, in my family, is I want to be the one that turns my whole family back to keeping the Torah. I want to be the one that reinstitutes that the feast days are kept here at this farm, my family and my generations after me. Like, I want to get it right. I want to be the one that turns the corner and makes it down the right path. And we've got so much being thrown at us every single day now. And there's just so much to overcome. And the last thing we need is our freedom of information flow between each other being restricted. And the thing with everybody having their eyes open, so many people, I don't have the verse right here in front of me right now, but it's in Daniel. I want to say 12th chapter of Daniel, but it says many will run to and fro, knowledge will increase, and the end will come. Right? I believe is how the scripture states. And forgive me if I misquoted. I told you go look it up for yourself, see if it be so. But I think that we are definitely at that point in time, because many are running to and fro, and knowledge is increasing. Within 10 years of my life, I went from a pagan church SUN day keeper to a Torah observant, hardcore Yah serving believer. And if I had the knowledge in just the past 2 years that's out there now, a decade ago, I would have probably arrived at the truth as twice as fast, if not 3 times as fast. There's people that have came here to this channel that were atheists and now are hardcore believers. Okay. So knowledge is so important, because the right soul, his sheep hear his voice. And thanks, somebody said sweet shirt. Yeah, it's Indiana Jones find himself in carbonite. I love it. But if you understand the fact that they want to suppress truth, it's all about suppressing the truth. Once you understand that you'll see right through this stuff, because it's like that governance board thing. Now, I read you. Luke did not lie to you. I told you, I said, the government said this. And then you seen it in the article. And then I said, this woman said this, which you can go check the Twitter comment thing. That one was a live wire. And then you can go listen to her mouth run off the garbage she spewed, and curse if you want to watch her cursing. I don't care. I don't want to listen to her. And I ain't playing it on here for y'all either. But what she said contradicted what they said. That's all I'm saying at the end of the day. And at the end of the day, all I really care about is what she said. Because let's face it, the government always has the official narrative, and then there's the facts. Oh, somebody shared it. Thank you so much. Daniel 12, verse 4. There you go. I am usually not far off from the baseline, folks. You may say that I lied to you, but I am not far from the baseline. I said Daniel 12, and there it is. Thank you, brother J.D. Israel and Historic Elucidatis. Daniel 12, for many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. And I believe the next thing says, and the end will come. And that is exactly where we're at. Make no doubt about it. And the last thing I want to say about this is when about 6 months to I'm going. Okay. I'm going to roll the dice on this one. I'm going to be really optimistic. I'm going to. When is what month are we in? We're in the 5th month on the pagan Roman calendar, and elections are, I think, in the 8th month. So that's. So okay. I'm going to go ahead and be conservative then and back up. I'm going to say in 6 months from now, depending on how these elections turn out, this thing will be revamped back up. Now, if things don't go to their liking, this may get set on the shelf for a while. But I want everybody to all understand, if you didn't get anything else out of everything I've said tonight, and you're still in the building, the most important thing we need to understand is by 2025, this thing will probably be a reality. Okay. Because Orwell's 1984 is becoming a living reality before our very eyes. And they're not going to put this back on the shelf. This is not getting put back on the shelf. All right. That's Luke's prophetic moment tonight. All right. So when you open Pandora's box, and Pandora's box has been opened, and this nanowquits or whatever popped out of it already, you cannot put Pandora's box back shut. All right. So just so we're all on the same page with that. And I want to be one of the first to say this, because people's going to get like complacent, and they're going to forget about all this Ministry of Truth stuff, because this was only hot topic for 3 weeks, and I'm commenting on it on the back end of it, and I sat on it for a little while, and I've had it scheduled for something I want to speak on, but I just wanted to ride this out for a minute, and I can't believe it fizzled out this fast. I will go ahead and go on the record for that too and say I cannot believe it fizzled out this fast. Nevertheless, it did, but it will be back. And when it does come back, it will be a blaze of glory. And I'm going to tell you, censorship is going to probably be maddening to the mind what's going to come here in the very near future. Because if they cannot get an event to happen to need to censor people, they will manufacture crisis, folks. They will keep on until they manufacture crisis to need to censor everybody, to control the flow of the internet. I think it is absolutely crucial. I try to look at everything. This last comments I'm going to make and then wrap this up is that I think it's crucial. You look at it, we need to all start looking at things as if I was going to do evil, how would I do it? Right? Fair enough. And so when I think about that, I'm like, okay, how do I shut people up and do it efficiently? Well, I don't go clap everybody. All right. I don't need to go drive to everybody's house and clap them. I got my Terminator robots being built for that. But what I can do is those that I can't get to self-delete by taking the snake bite, then I will just I will just go and silence them. I will just turn their internet off. And that'll be enough for a lot of people right there. Because I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of effeminate men out here that will not speak up, will not fight back, will not do anything. I mean, you can turn their internet off and they'll just sit there in the corner and cry. Me, I'll go over here and figure out another way to get on the blockchain or something, do something parallel society. But that is definitely an important cog in the wheel for the New World Order, is to silence people and silence the truth. And I've done put up my whole little billboard across there of everything that I said that they want to shut up. Those are going to be high priorities. Now, anything anti to what the government agenda is being pushed will also be, you can add that to that billboard of truth too. But guys, that pretty much is the stream tonight. I just wanted to share this information for what it's worth. Like I said, I really can't believe this thing fizzled out in 3 weeks, but don't worry. It'll come back in a blaze of glory. It'll be a forest fire when it comes back. And Luke will be here to tell you, I told you so on what is this, the 19th of the pagan month of 2022. I told you. So I'll reach back in the annals of time before they delete my show or whatever. And I'll be like, there it was. It was stream number 28. I told y'all it was going to happen. So guys, shalom to everybody. Love everybody in the stream. I will be live on the 22nd, all right, of this month, May 22nd, 8 p.m. All right. And we will be talking. Hold on just a second. I'll pull over here and we'll pop it up. We're going to be talking about modern relationships, the dumpster fire that is modern relationships. All right. I'm going to be going in on that. And one of my main tenets in that, I want everybody to understand, is it's not to beat up on men or beat up on women. It is that they are absolutely trying to destroy the nuclear family. That is my main tenet among everything in that presentation. But there's definitely a lot of points I want to cover in that, just period. And how to solve that problem, which is obviously return to Torah and many other things. But guys, as always, until we see you again here at Seven Trumpets Prepper channel, make sure to check out the previous streams that we've had on here. You can find them in the link in the video description below now for the playlist. It's got them itemized now. I'm trying to keep them up to date. I'm trying to really stay on top of the show. But with that said, guys, till we see you again here in just a few days on the stream again, hope Most High Yah Baruch you and keep you, make his face shine upon you, show you favor, and give you shalom, my friends, in Yahushua name.